युगधारिणे नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय गुरवे सच्चिदानन्दमूर्तये निष्कपञ्चाय शान्ताय निरालम्बाय तेजसे नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे शिष्यसंसारहारिणे भक्तकाये कदेहाय नमस्ते चित्सदात्मने। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ नमो गुरुभ्यो गुरुपादुकाभ्यो नमः परेभ्यः हरपादुकाभ्यः आचार्यसिद्धे हरपादुकाभ्यो नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यः। ऐङ्काररहस्ययुक्ता ऐङ्कारदूरा तमः विभूत्या ओङ्कारमर्म प्रतिपादिनेभ्यः नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यः। होत्रादियोजा निरवेशोतु होमारि सर्वा वृत्तिभासमानम् यद्ब्रह्मतद्भो रविकारिणेभ्यः नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यः। अनन्तसर्गा रजदारुणाभ्यः विवेकवैराग्यनिधिपदाभ्यः बोधापदाभ्यः युतमोक्षदाभ्यः नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यः। अनन्तसंसारसमुद्रतारा लोकारिकाभ्यः स्थिरभक्तिदाभ्यः जाड्यादिसंशोधनवारवाभ्यः नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ अस्य श्री गुरुगीतास्तोत्रमन्त्रस्य भगवान् सदाशिवऋषि नानाविधानि छन्दांसि श्रीगुरु परमात्मा देवता अम्बिकां सरस्वतीं तिलकान् श्रीगुरु प्रसादसिद्ध्यर्थे जपे नियोगान् आत्मज्ञानम् हंसाख्यं परिवृत्तपात्रकमले दिव्यजगत्कारणे विश्वकीर्णमनेकदेहनिलये सच्चन्नममेक्षया तद्योतां पर कैलासशिखरे रम्ये भक्तिसन्धाननायकान् नरम्य पार्वती भक्त्या शङ्करं पायकृच्छते श्रीदेवी उवाच ॐ नमो देवदेवेश्वर हरहर जगद्गुरो सदाशिव महादेव गुरुविष्णुपदे येन मार्गेण भवस्वामे देहि ब्रह्मं मयो भवे त्वं कृपां कुरु मे स्वामी नमामि चरणौ तव ईश्वर उवाच मम रूपासि देवी त्वं त्वद्विख्यातं वदाम्यहम् लोकोपकारका प्रश्नो न तेनापि कृता पुरा दुर्लभं त्रिषु लोकेषु तत्पुरुषावदाम्यहम् गुरुर्विना ब्रह्मणन्यात् सत्यं सत्यं वरानने वेदशास्त्रपुराणानि इतिहासादिकानि च मन्त्रयन्त्राणि विद्याश्च स्मृतिरुचातनारिकाम् शैवशाक्तागमादीनि अन्यानि विविधानि च अपभ्रंशकराणि जीवानां ग्रन्थते च सा यज्ञोगतं तपोदानं जपस्त्रिचरते जनाः गुरुबुद्ध्यात्मनोऽनन्यं सत्यं सत्यं न संशयः सर्वभक्तं प्रयन्नस्तु कर्तव्यो हि मनीषिणे गुरुरविद्या जगन्माया ज्ञानसम्भवः प्रकाशेन गुरुशब्देन कथ्यते सर्वपाप्पा विशुद्धात्मा श्रीगुरुपादसेवनात् देहि ब्रह्म भवेद्यस्मात् तत्कृपार्थं वदामि ते गुरुपादामृतं स्मृत्वा जलं शिरसि धारयेत् सर्वतीर्थावगास्य सम्प्राप्नोति फलं नराः शोषणं पापपङ्गस्य विपदं ज्ञानतेजसां गुरुपादोदकं सम्यक् संसारावतारकाम् ज्ञानहरणं जन्मकर्मनिवारणं ज्ञानवैराग्यसिद्ध्यर्थं गुरुपादोदकं गुरुपादोदकं पीत्वा गुरुशिष्टभोजनं गुरुमूर्ते शरण्यानां गुरुमन्त्रं सराजते काशीशेषं ज्ञानिवासो जानवीचरणोदकं गुरुविश्वेश्वर साक्षात् कारकं ब्रह्मनिष्ठितं गुरुपादोदकं यात् वायुसोक्षयो वित्तराज प्रयागश्च गुरुमूर्ते नमो नमः गुरुमूर्तिं स्मरे नित्यं गुरुनामासराजते Sita Vidya Guru Bhaktya Tu Lagyate Dukkara Svandakarasya Dukkara Stejo Uchate Ajnanadya Sukham Brahma Guruvana Samshaya Dukkara Pratamo Varno Mayadi Guna Bhasuka Dukkara Vidyo Brahma Maya Bhranti Vinasana Evam Guru Param Shreshtan Devanamapi Durlabhan Aho Ganesheva Gandharvesha Prabhujyate Guruvante Shancha Sarvesham Nasitatvam Guru Paran Asanam Shayanam Vastram Bhushanam Vahanarikam Sadhakena Pradatavyam Guru Santoshakarakam Guru Radhanam Karyam Svajivitvam Nivedaye Karmana Manasa Vacha Nityamaradhaye Gurum Kirgaranam Namaskritya Nirlajo Guru Sanido Shariram Indriyam Pranam Sadguru Bhyo Nivedaye Atmadararikam Sarva Sadguru Bhyo Nivedaye Punikita Bhasma Vishta Gurgandhi Mala Mutratam Esmaratam Putra Mansam Anjayena Vanamane Samsara Vrikshamarudha Patanto Narakarnave Vena Seva Drupa Sarve Asme Shri Gurave Namah Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Gurudeva Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Etave Jagatameva Samsaranavasitave Abhave Sarvavidyana Sambhave Gurave Namah Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnanajana Shalakaya Chakshurudmilitam Yena Asmai Shri Gurave Namah Tvam Pita Tvam Cha Me Mata Tvam Madhu Tvam Cha Devata Samsara Pratibhodhartha Asmai Shri Gurave Namah Yat Satyena Jagat Satyam Yat Prakashena Bhaktipat Yaranandena Nandanti Asmai Shri Gurave Namah Yasya Sthitya Satyamidam Yabhati Bhanurupata Priyam Putra Riyakritya Asmai Shri Gurave Namah Yena Chetayate Idam Chitam Chetayate Nayam Chardasapna Shushutyari Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Yasya Jnanarinam Vishvam Nadrusham Veena Vedatam Hare Karu Parupaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Achaturbahurakshita Achaturvarnano Brahma Shri Guru Kartika Priye Ayam Maya Jalirbhado Naya Sagar Vidye Yadayundra Tujantu Mitra Samsara Muktiva Shri Guru Paramamrupam Nirvikachakshusomukam Andhakajana Pashyanti Andhasuryodayam Yatha Vedantacharana Yasya Nishirajate Tasye Nishe Namaskuriya Bhakti-Pratinam Priye Tasye Nishe Sadhukamanjane Sahage Vakshipyate Mugarito Madhupe Budesha Jagati Yatra Bhagavan Guru Chakravarti Vishwadaya Prananatana Nitya Sakshi Srinakari Durutrayam Ganapati Nitatrayam Bhairavam Singauram Madhugatrayam Bhadaivam Jyotirkamam Mandaram Viranjashtatasasta Sasti Navatam Viravali Panchakam Sriman Mani Mandraraja Sanitam Vande Guru Mandalam Abhyasya Sakaleshu Dega Manile Yari Tare Dushtare Pranayama Satera Mekakalanye Dukarmate Durjaye Yasmina Vinite Vinashati Bade Ayu Swayam Vakshanan Vaktam Tatsarjam Sabhana Manishan Sevadame Amguru Swadeshika Seva Sharira Chintanam Bhavedana Tasya Shivasa Chintanam Swadeshika Seva Charama Kirtanam Bhavedana Tasya Shivasa Kirtanam Yapparare Nukanika Api Samsara Valide Saitu Mandayate Natam Deshikam Brahmapasmaye Yasmadanu Dvam Latva Mahararyana Muksade Tasme Shri Deshikindraya Amarsa Vishta Siddhaye Paratam Sava Samsara Tavanada Vinashakam Brahmarandre Sitamboja Madhya Satsang Mandale Akakari Dekadle Sahasrara Mandale Amsarasa Chikonesha Maretam Madhya Ganguru Sakala Bhuvana Shusti Arpita Sheshamasti Nitirani Jamadrusti Sambaram Yata Drusti Avaguna Parimasti Tapparateka Drusti Bhavaguna Parameshti Mokshamarneka Drusti Sakala Bhuvana Ranga Sapana Sammayasti Sakaruna Rasa Drusti Atmamala Samasti Sakala Samaya Shusti Satsidananda Drishti Vasatu Mayi Nitya Shri Guru Divya Drishti Agnishuddha Samam Chatyam Malaparikshakariya Mantrarajam Vimam Manye Arnisham Patam Muktika Kane Jati प्रदाताय तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्ता सर्वकर्माविदायिने स्वात्मज्ञान प्रभावेन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। न गुरुरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरुरधिकं तपः तत्त्वं ज्ञानपरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। अनकाशि जगन्नाथ मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरु मम सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ज्ञानमूलं गुरुमूर्ति पूजमूलं गुरुपदं मन्त्रमूलं गुरुवाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरुकृपा। गुरुरादिरनरिष्टं गुरुपरं देवतां गुरुपरतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। सप्तसागरपर्यन्तं तीर्थस्नानादिकं फलं गुरुरन्वेषयो बिन्दु सहस्रं स्वेन दुर्लभम्। हरोदृष्टे गुरुशातं गुरुदृष्टेन कश्चन तस्मात्प्रयत्नेन श्रीगुरुं शरणं व्रजे। गुरुरेव जगत्सर्वं ब्रह्म विष्णु शिवात्मकं गुरुपरतरं नास्ति तस्मात् सम्बुद्धये गुरुम्। ज्ञानविज्ञानसहितं लभ्यते गुरुवाक्यतः गुरुपरतरं नास्ति ध्येयोऽसौ गुरुमार्गिभिः। यस्मात्परतरं नास्ति नेति नेति विवक्षति मनसा वाचसा चैव नित्यमाराधयेत् गुरुम्। गुरुकृपा प्रसादेन देवकी नरगन्धर्वा पितरो यक्षचारणः मुनयोऽपि न जानन्ति गुरुशुश्रूषणे विधिम्। महान्तरगर्वेण तपोविद्याभिमन्वितः संसारकुहरावर्ते भक्तयन्त्रे यथावतः। नमोऽदेव गन्धर्वा पितरो यक्षकिन्नरः सर्वसिद्धस्य गुरुसेवा परममुखः। ज्ञानं शृणु महादेवी सर्वगन्धप्रदायकं सर्वसौख्यकरं नित्यं मुक्तिमुक्तिविदायकम्। श्रीमत्परब्रह्म गुरुं स्मरामि श्रीमत्परब्रह्म गुरुं वरामि ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं वन्दामिनं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्य विलक्षणम्। एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदेशा Satyam karoti yam Sayate narakam duram Javachandra Bhakaro Java karmanta kodeva Bhavadeva Guru Snare Guru Gopala Kartavya Swachandra Yari Bhavade Munkarena Navaktavya Ragneshi Shaikatansukam Guru Radrena Vaktavya Asatyam Chakarachana Gurum Sankritya Kritya Gurum Nirjitya Vartham Aranyene Kavedeshe Sadhavekam Narashmasam Munivekana Girvati Surva Shakti Toyari Paramukya Bayad Bhakti Guru Rakshati Parvati Ashakai Suradyasha Ashaka Mudayasha Guru Shapena Tesigram Jaya Praktina Samshaya Yantaraja Nirandevi Guru Vidyakshara Jayam Utirartha Bhakyena Guru Saksha Paramparam Shruti Smriti Avinyaya Kevalam Guru Sevaka Deve Sanyasina Prokta Vitare Veshakarina Nityam Brahma Nirakaram Nirgunam Guretaram Sarvam Brahma Nirabhasam Vipavitam Paramyatam Namo Mandirishwaye Anina Guru Margena Svatmyanam Pravartate Brahmasa Paryantam Paramamasurupam Sadhanam Jaradamam Seva Paramami Jagamayam Vandeham Sachidanandam Devaditam Saragurum Nityam Varnam Nirakaram Nirgunam Swagna Samsikam Paramataram Nireyam Nityam Anantakarikam Nidaya Karshamaryastam Sudasvati Kasanibam Satika Pratimarupam Drishyate Darpane Yatham Paramani Sudakaram Anandam Sarvanityam
Anustamatra Purusham Yatasimmayam Muni Tatrastarati
Bhavoya Niruntam Patayam Yaham Agocharam Tatanamya Namarupavivarjitam
Nishabdam Tadvijaniya
Swabhavam Brahma Parvati
Nityananda Sadhavena Karpurata Sumadishu
Vikrasnadi Sabhavena Tata Brahma Shashvatam Swayam Tata Vido Bhutva Sattvavyam Yakrutupati Vita Brahma Ravakarma Jnanamavati Tavrisham Guru Jnanam Tata Kritva Swayam Brahma Mayodhate
Inde Padde Kittahite Mukta
Sonatra Samshaya
Sri
Parvati Uvacha Lingam Kindu Mahadeva Param Kim Samudaratam Rupatitam Sarvam Kim Veda Tatyai Shankaram Sri Mahadeva Uvacha Lingam Kundalini Shakti Paramam Samudaratam Rupam Bindu Vigyeya Rupatitam Niranjanam Iti Mukta Pare
एकाकी निष्ठा शंका निष्ठा सिद्धा प्रसादता लब्धं वा धनलब्धं वा संतं वा बहुलं सुखा निष्कामेनैव भोक्तव्यं सदा सन्तुष्टचेतसा सर्वज्ञा पदविद्यावै देहि सर्वं मयोबुधा सच्चिदानन्द सदा शान्तो रामतेय प्रकृतिः यद्देवाति सते सोऽपि सदेश पुण्यभाजनम् मुक्तस्य लक्षणं देहि सर्वैकात्मिकं मया उपदेशस्तु देवी गुरुमार्गेण मुक्तिदा गुरुभक्ति सुखा ज्ञानं सकलं तव कीर्तिनाम् अन्येन यत् भवेत् कार्यं सर्वदा मे मामते लोकोपकारकं देवी लौकिकं तु न भावये लौकिका कर्मणो यन्ते ज्ञानैलाभवर्णवान् ज्ञानितो भावये सर्वान् कर्मनिष्कामयत्कृतान् इदं तु भक्तिभावेन आतते शृणुते यदि परातव्यं तत्सर्वं सफलं भवेत् गुरुगीतात्मकं देवी सुधातकं मयोगितां भावव्याधिविनाशार्थं स्वयमेव जपे सदा गुरुगीताक्षरैकत्वे मन्त्रराजामिमं जपे अन्ये च विधिगा मन्त्रा अलङ्कारान्ति षोडशीम् गुरुगीता जपेन तु सर्वपापप्रशमनं सर्वदारिद्र्यनाशनं कालमृत्युभयहरं सर्वसङ्कटनाशनं यक्षराक्षसस्य भूतानां सर्वव्याघ्रभयापहम् महाकार्यहरं सर्वं विभूतिसिद्धं भवेत् आत्मानं वश्यं स्वयमेव जपे सदा अष्टासने चकारित्रं अष्टमेरोगसम्भवः मेदिन्यं दुःखमाप्नोति अस्ति भवति निष्फलम् ज्ञानसिद्धिं मोक्षश्रीज्ञानचर्मणि शास्त्रमे ज्ञानसिद्धिं सर्वसिद्धिस्तुभं कुशलवादिर्वया देवी आसने शुभ्रकम्बले उपावेश्य ततो देवी जपेदिग्रहमानसा देयं शुभं च सन्यर्थं वासिरतासनं प्रिये अभिचारे कृष्णवर्णं दीप्तवर्णं धनागमे उत्तरे शान्तिकामस्तु वार्षिकवर्मामुपजपे दक्षिणे वर्णं प्रोक्तं पश्चिमे च धनागमा मोहनं सर्वभूतानां मन्दमोक्षाकरं भवेत् देवराजात्मयकारः
कामदेव कल्पना कल्पकारपा चिन्तामणि सिद्धिदासा सर्वमङ्गलकारका मोक्षहेतुर्जपे नित्यं मोक्षश्रियां भक्त्या भोगकामो जपे योगे अस्य कामफलाप्तये जपे सर्वसुरश्च धनपद्यस्य वैष्णवः सेवाश्च श्रीरं देवी सत्यं सत्यं न संशयः आतकाम्य जपे स्थानं अर्पयामि वरानने
सागरेव सवितीरे
आतवारे अरालये शक्तिदेवालये गोस्ते सर्वदेवालयेष्वे तते दात्रिमूलेवा माते वृन्दावने तथा स्थाने नित्यनुष्ठानचोदिवा निर्विघ्नेन मौनेन समानेकं समाचरे
स्मशाने भयभूमौ भट्टमूलान्तिके तथा सिद्धदेवातुरे मूले
चित्तपुरुषासमानिनो गुरुपुत्रवरमूर्ताः अस्य सिद्ध्यन्ति न यथा शुभकर्माणि सर्वाणि विश्ववत्कर्मणं सिद्धाः संसारमरणशर्तं पावपाशानि वृत्तये गुरुगीतामति स्नानं तद्वाचा गुरुते सदा दैवाचा गुरुसाक्षात् सदाशिवब्रह्मविद्मः तस्य स्थानानि सर्वाणि पवित्राणि न संशयः सर्वशुद्धपवित्रोऽसौ भवद्याकृतिष्ठति तत्र देवगणा सर्वे क्षेत्रे चित्रे वसन्ति आसनस्थशयनो वा गच्छन्ति संविधानपि श्रीसहस्रशरण्यानि गुरुगीताजपेन तस्य दर्शनमात्रेण पुनर्जन्म विद्यते यथाकाशात् अकामाकारमत्मनि अविवर्याणि जीवात्मा पारमात्मानि लीयते एकेन रमते ज्ञानी यत्र तत्र दिवानिशाम्
एवं विदो महामुक्तः सर्वदा वर्तते बुधः
तस्य सर्वप्रयत्नेन भावभक्तिं करोति यः सर्वसन्देहरहितो मुक्तो भवति पार्वती मुक्तिमुक्तिदयं तस्यात् शिवापेक्षा सरस्वती अनेन प्राणिनः सर्वे गुरुगीताजपेन सर्वसिद्धिमनुवन्ति मुक्तिमुक्तिं न संशयः सत्यं सत्यं पुनः सत्यं धर्मं सत्यं मयोनितं गुरुगीता समं नास्ति सत्यं सत्यं वरानने एको देव एक धर्म एकनिष्ठा परं तपः गुरुपरं नास्ति तद्वन्द्वरो परम् मातधन्या पिता धन्यो धन्यो वाचाकुलं तथा धन्या च वसुधा देवी गुरुभक्ति सुलभा शरीरमिन्द्रियं प्राणश्च सर्वसहजानबन्धवः माता पिता कुलं देवी गुरुरेव न संशयः अकल्पजमनाकोत्य सभाव्रत Tatapatya Satsang Sapalam Devi Guru Santosamatrata Vidyatapo Balineva Mandapagyastrayena Guru Sevanya Kurvanti Satyam Satyam Varaname Brahma Vishnu Maheshasha Devashi Pitrakinnara Siddhacharana Yakshasha Anepi Muna Yojana Guru Bhava Param Tirthan Anya Tirthan Nirarchakan Sarva Tirtha Shayo Devi Aravusham Savartate Yapena Jaya Mandote Sanata Paramapniya Nina Karma Jagan Sarvam Sanari Charamani Cha Japamina Sanapurvam Nina Karma Phalapradhan Guru Gita Kayaneva Sangrame Yuko Sankate Japajaya Bhavanote Narame Muktirayatan Sarva Karma Sarvatra Yogurta Sasiyati Idamya Asana Vacham Avade Katitam Vaya Subhokyam Chakayatena Namatam Chakayati Swami Mukya Ganeshari Vishnaparinam Chaparvati Manasati Navaktavya Satyam Satyam Vadamyam Ativa Patmachitaya Saddhabhati Utaya Cha Pravachanya Miram Devi Namamasi Sarapriye Abhakti Vanchake Durte Pakane Nasike Nare Manasati Navaktavya Guru Gita Karachana Samsara Sagara Samudra Nekamantra Namadi Deva Muni Punjita Siddha Mantra Daritra Dukha Bhava Roga Vinasha Mantra Vande Mahaya Guru Raja Mantra Iti Shri Skanda Purane Uttarakande Swara Parvati Samvade Guru Gita Samapta Shri Gurudev Charanar Namastu Nityanandaya Gurave Vishwa Samsarayane Bhakta Kare Kadeyaya Namaste Chitsaratmane Nirvasanam Nirakansham Savadosha Vivartitam Niraramam Nirakantam Nityanandam Namavyam Nirmamam Nirakantam Samadosasnakanam Samadukasanamanam Avadanam Namavyam Adinashi Namamanam Ekavignaya Tattvata Vitaraga Bhayakrona Nityanandam Namavyam Namdevo Namedevo Nivanamanuchi Evam Vignaya Sandustam Sanatana Vignaya Sandruttam Nityanandam Namavyam Yanagni Gagna Karmanam Amasankalpavarjitam Eyopare Ariyantam Abhadutam Namavyam Svabhavene Vayo Yogi Sukham Bhogam Navansati Yadachala Vasandastam Satyanandam Namanyam Devaninda Prasansavyam Yasya Vikriyate Mana Atmajiram Mahatmanam स्वप्नवद्भवतिष्ठति निश्चिन्तं चिन्मयमानं नित्यानन्दमयम् द्वेषं नास्ति प्रियं नास्ति नास्ति यस्य शुभाशुभम् वेदज्ञानविहीनं अवधूतं
परमासति नो यस्तु तदपासति चिन्मयम्
नित्ययुक्तं गुणातीतं
नित्यानन्दमयम् यो हि दर्शनमत्रेण
पावनं जन्मतीर्थम्
अवधूतं नमयम् सर्वपूज्यं सर्वपूर्णम् अखण्डरत्ननिलयम् स्वाप्रकाशं चिदानन्दम् नित्यानन्दं नमयम् निष्कलं निष्क्रियं शान्तं निर्मलं परममृतम् गणेशापुरिवसीनम् अवधूतं नमयम्
योगपूर्णं तपोमूर्तिं
प्रेमपूर्णं सुदर्शनम् ज्ञानपूर्णं कृपामूर्तिं नित्यानन्दं नमयम् गुरुजना सद्गुणो भूयात् सद्दुःखासयामिमोचये स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् ध्यायेन मार्गेण नमयि महिषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी शाश्वतशालिनी येषोऽयं शुभरहितो ब्रह्मणां सन्तु निर्मलाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सर्वस्तरतु दुर्गाणि सर्वो भद्राणि पश्यन्तु सर्वकामानवाप्नोतु सर्वसर्वत्र गच्छतु स्वस्ति वाग्भवतः पितृहेनो अस्तु स्वस्ति
Guru Charana Saroja Vijani
Yatsa Mare Gurati Arati Karu Guruvarati Arati Karu
Krishna Govinda Hare गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
हे नाथ
Sadhgurnath Maharaj Ki Jai. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Gurudev. And welcome, a big welcome to all of you here in the room, a lot of you in the room, and so glad to see all of you. It's fantastic, really. And it's all because Gurudev is here. We know that. So this is an official welcome program for Gurudev, even though in the short few days he's been here, a lot has already occurred, a lot of wonderful things. A concert, a wonderful chant last night, and also the regular presence that he has given us during the regular programs. So it's we're settling into being here with Gurudev, just being with him. And in that beingness, we get silence. We get the greatest gift of all, the silence of the mind. So at this point, I'd like to ask Vinay and Shanti Desai to come forward and offer the welcome arati to Gurudev on behalf of all of us.
Harihi Om Brehasapate Adi Adarjo Areha Vyumadavivati Karatu Majjane Ku Jagdi Dayaksha Vasari Taparaja Tata Dasama Sudra Venan Dehi Chitaram Upaya Magarihi To Sibrehasapataye Tvai Kate Jo Nirabrehasapataye Tva Brahmadijnanam Prathamam Purastad Vishimataha Surucho Bena Avaha Savudnya Upama Asyavishthaha Satasya Jonima Satasya Vivaha Om Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvatha Sadike Saranye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Om Namah Parvati Pataye Hara 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 Mahadev Sadhgurnath Maharaj Ki Jai.
Gurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Steve Gorn was here the other 2 nights ago, and he gave a wonderful Bansuri flute concert right in this very room. Many of you were here, and at the end of the concert, which was really, really sweet, and for me, it reached a very, very sublime place in which the music took me inside. And it was, as he said, very melodic and very lyrical. It was an evening rag. And so it really felt wonderful from listening to that music. And Jackie and I went up and wanted to say thank you to him. And Steve's been coming here for a while, and he's He's a very kind person, very highly skilled, adept person that loves the music. And Jackie said, my wife Jackie said, how are you doing? Are you keeping busy? And he said, well, I'm playing a lot of music. And he said, this time of year, it's very humid. Very humid. And he said, just like in the East where these bamboo flutes come from, it's familiar for the flute, and the bamboo absorbs the moisture in the air, and the sound gets sweeter and deeper. So he said, I love playing this time of year. Other people don't like the humidity, but I just love the humidity. And he was sort of like really giving us his secret, and I began contemplating that. As I feel like now it's even more important, it's always important and critical that we be with the Guru, that the Guru be the center of our lives, that he's the guide to take us within, to give us the right lifestyle, give us a mantra, give us Shaktipat. But even more so now than ever, we're glad to welcome Gurudev back home to Walden, because many people have gone through a lot of hardship. It's a difficult time. You could say there's a lot of humidity. So we're all kind of, getting sort of damp inside, and in a way it's inducing us to play deeper music, that the heart has more of an urgency to it, more of a pressing need, and a need to be with the Guru. So hence, during this next 4 months, we'll be able to spend a lot of time just being here and sitting with Gurudev, sitting with the Guru principle, absorbing that energy and deepening our sadhanas. So playing our own inner music with the Shakti. As old timers, Baba used to call old shoes, we have the opportunity to watch things grow and develop. And also, thinking back, we always measure time in world tours. I think, well, it was the first world tour, or Australia, or the second world tour, the third world tour. There was meant to be a fourth world tour, but Baba passed away. He took Mahasamadhi in 1982. The fourth world tour was taken over on Baba's behalf by Gurudev and Chidvilasananda, Guru Mai. Gurudev has never stopped touring. We've had many, many, many tours that we can't even count. So we can't really use them to count anymore. But we know that just by his doing that touring, he's carried on the message of Gurudev, of Baba. He's carried the flag, he's held the torch, and continued to make that flame burn. And in the process, so much has happened. We have 4 ashrams, and in those ashrams, there's the mantra is being repeated all the time. The Vedic mantras have been taught correctly. We have a lifestyle and many techniques for sadhana, and so much wealth has been given to us. So he's carrying that flag, carrying that banner, and we're very grateful to you, Gurudev, because you've set an example and you've never stopped. That's a wonderful gift to Baba, and it's a gift to all of us. And so it's given us an example of which to follow, of how to live our lives and how to deepen our sadhana every day. We put out these flags just before Gurudev arrived, and they're welcoming Gurudev, and they're also a symbol that says the Guru is in residence. So we have the opportunity to come here and spend time with him. And to carry that flag, that banner is symbolic of an inner banner. The banner of, so in a country, a flag symbolizes something. So this flag is the orange flag of renunciation and freedom and dedication to pure consciousness. As Dhaneshwar Maharaj said, Maze jivi chi avadi, maze jivi chi avadi, Pandarapura neina gudi, Pandarapura neina gudi, Pandarangi mana rangade, Pandarangi mana rangade. Jnanadev says, I love to carry the banner to Pandharpur. Just as Gurudev is carrying the banner on behalf of Baba, on our behalf, Gurudev says, I carry this banner to Pandharpur. My mind revels in the qualities of the divine. It's saturated with that. So in this process, we're basically saturating our minds and absorbing ourselves in that presence that the Guru is. When we watch the seasons here, being in one place, one tends to look around and make observations. And one of the observations I've been making over the last 2 years, because we've gone through, I don't know, at least 2 of every season now, because we've been here 2 years. And this season is particularly interesting because all the fruit's coming out. The nuts are coming out. And we might be a little nuts ourselves. But anyway, so looking around all the time and seeing things, you always notice something you didn't see before. There's a row of trees between the new building, Nyaneshwar, and the temple along the driveway, and they're tall trees. And as I walked through there the other day, I noticed some crab apples on the ground. I've seen them before, but I looked up and there's a very tall tree, and I said, "You're a crab apple tree." I never noticed that because the fruits were on the ground. And there's an old saying, you can tell the tree by the fruit, by its fruit, because during the year you may just see leaves and bark, but when you see the fruit and it falls at your feet, you go, "Oh, it's a hickory tree, it's a walnut tree, it's an almond tree, this is an apple tree." So we sit under the Guru's tree, under the tree of pure consciousness, the Kalpa Vriksha tree, the wish-fulfilling tree that's mentioned in the Vedas and in the Guru Gita. That we sit there and we reap many, many benefits. And we see the benefits as old-timers, as witnesses of this tour. And we know many people who are witnesses like that have already passed through. And there are new people entering the planet, entering a relationship with the Guru. And we see that this whole process is blessed with the fruit of that. And the people that come through, the young people in particular, it strikes me a lot that the sons and daughters of 3rd, 4th generation, 5th generation devotees of Bhagavan Nityananda or Muktananda or Gurudev have qualities that are extraordinary and very inspiring. And then we also have our own qualities, our own fruits from the sadhana that we've performed. Just sitting under that tree and meditating and doing the teachings that Baba and Gurudev have given us reaps great fruit. So at some point we look up at this tree and we say, "Wow, what tree under which am I sitting? What is this tree?" And it has great, great shade and protection and gives fruit and gives richness to our lives. So we're sitting here again. So this process of the touring, the coming and the going. Gurudev just left Magod. He came here. Those people there are sad. We're happy. So we'll go back in December. We'll be on the reverse end of that. We'll be sad and they're anticipating. They're happy. So back and forth. There's sad and happy. So the wise one knows that the Guru is always with them. But the key is that the really source of all this is that Gurudev never fails to visit Ganeshpuri, the home of his Guru and our Guru Baba Muktananda and Bhagavan Nityananda. So he touches base there on the way out and the way back in, thereby honoring that source from which this whole lineage and this whole process begins, the whole tree of universal consciousness under which we sit. So we are so happy and grateful to welcome you, Gurudev, once again. And we ask that you bestow your wisdom upon us, if you like to. Sagurnath. Maharaj ki jai.
Muktanandaya Gurave Shishya Samsara Harinne Bhakta Karyaika Dehaya Namaste Chitsadatmane Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nishpapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Teja Vishavahe Om Shanti 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 Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. With great respect and love, I would like to welcome everyone to Satsang. Dana talked about time. Next year will be 40 years since Baba Muktananda left his physical form, and 40 years of addict. So of course, appreciations to Devyani and the entire team here who continue this each day, every day. And it's not an easy task to keep at it each day, every day. Talking about time, we also have Michael Shingleton here. We go back to the 1980s in South Fallsburg, which is where I think I remember meeting him for the first time. We used to sneak out every afternoon at 1:30 after lunch to play 1 hour of volleyball at the bungalow colony that all of the Bostonians lived. And we had watermelon as part of the end of the game. Who won and who didn't, I don't know, but we had a lot of fun. So over the years, Michael has stayed in touch, and he's come back after a couple of years, 3 years, I think. And he talks about the mantra Ham Sa. And he's always tried that we should become aware of the breath. Especially now with masks, I think we become even more aware of the breath. If we were never aware of it before, we are aware of it now. So he likes to tell everybody that instead of celebrating happy birthday, we should celebrate happy breath day. And there is the first breath day, which most of us don't realize when the child is born. There is the continued breath, which the scriptures tell us is 21,600 times per day. And I always tell people, if you don't believe it, begin to count. Or believe it. And then there is the last breath day, which happens to each and every one of us. So Michael believes that we should encourage everybody to celebrate Breath Day. And so he has a website and greeting cards. Anybody interested should see him about the Breath Day. And I think in all of what Dana shared, the Guru talks about using the breath. Baba Muktananda often talked about it, that a breath unused is wasted. A breath with which you haven't done something is a moment of life that has gone to waste. And when we really think and look at life in the world, Michael does, and many of you believe, that there are many of us on the path of spirituality and of yoga. But in my 40 years, I believe that there is not many. there's only a few. It seems like many, but there's actually only a few. Many are simply wasting their breath. And the fault lies with us who are on the spiritual path. Not with them, but with us who are on the spiritual path. Because we make it weird. We make it weird to be spiritual. We make it weird to be on the path. I find this myself over the 59 years it will be of having lived this life, of how we create all these strange concepts and ideas, and that normal people shy away from or run away from. And what I learned from Baba Muktananda is just as breathing is natural, so is this entire concept of consciousness of divinity. Is just as natural. We don't have to make it weird. We do not have to make it strange. Each individual is unique. The crab apple is a very small fruit. I don't know how many of you have eaten it, but it has a very strange flavor. Then there is the red apple, the green apple. There are many kinds of apples, and humans now have made a fusion of apple and pear. Each fruit, each vegetable, each flower has its own beauty. If we as human beings and individuals can come to accept that all of creation is wonderful in its own way. One of the topics I think we have is that, no? Accept titles, give titles. So the day I came, I shared a few thoughts, and from that she took some thoughts, and we have some titles. So, acceptance, patience. We always want in our society today speed. Throughout this time in Magod, and often I tell the young people, timing is important. Music, timing is important. Conversations, timing is important. Behavior, timing is important. When to convey a message, timing is important. And so, we slacken up, we get loose, and we miss the beat. We miss the timing. And many people look at me when I tell them this, like, what? Those of us who drive shift in gear, timing is important, otherwise you hear the crunch of the gear. When you brake a car, because now they're going to make you dumb, because they're going to make cars, they're going to brake. But till then, timing is important. If you don't, you will bang into the car in front of you. Along with that, I tell them, attitude matters. One of the biggest issues I find in life with humans is the attitude. You could call it ego, but it is so amazing that simple things like this in life we forego because we are caught in the greater concept or an idea of what we think it is to be spiritual. And so I believe that which you think or want to experience as great consciousness exists. It's there. It's always there. It is these steps that you must become aware of in life. So when we talk about breath, and we think about how much breath, or how important breath is in life. So looking through my notes, we had an intensive here a year or 2 years ago on sadhana, on spiritual practice. There is the seeker, there is the practice, and there is the goal. Swami Shivananda of Rishikesh from the Divine Life Society, who settled there and I think never went or left Rishikesh, stressed a lot upon sadhana. He called it the main purpose of life. Once a human realizes that I am born, that I have this breath, what do I do with it? So we go to the Guru that gives us a mantra, which ultimately becomes Hamsa or Soham. And for years people live in this duality of, is it Hamsa? Is it Soham? Is it Soham? Is it Hamsa? It's actually both. But you have to practice it that many times. One of the things that Michael brought up, which Swami Lakshmanju discusses, is the upward breath and the downward breath. Is the upward prana and the downward prana. Because there are 5 types of prana in the body. There's prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. These breaths function and perform different activities in the human body: inhalation, exhalation, digestion, balance, and the release, what we call fart or gas, and ultimately the release of the soul from this human body also takes place due to the existence of this prana or the vayu in the body. Ayurveda also discusses at great detail that when the vata or the wind or the prana is imbalanced, you have mental issues. Modern science doesn't place much importance upon these subtle aspects of our human life. The ancient systems of medicine looks at and talks to us about bringing a balance. But all we do in life and the imbalance it causes us. In the last 2 years, through all of that which we have been through, the discussion has been of mental imbalance. Great people have talked about being locked up in a space for a period of time, not being able to get out because of lockdown, and having to stare at a wall, at a ceiling, or at the same person for a period of time. I might have shared it, I don't remember, a message that came through, and it is of the ceiling, and it's about 8 minutes. And everybody in the audience wonders what's so great about a ceiling for 8 minutes. And the camera slowly then comes down to a human being who's paralyzed, lying on the bed, who only sees the ceiling at all times because he cannot physically move. And so the movie maker asks us, we cannot stand 8 minutes of looking at the ceiling. Imagine this human being who, due to his physical condition, is not able to move or do anything but only look at the ceiling. I share another story, similar but a little different. that a monk sits in one place for 30 days. The manager of the temple asks the monk, "What are you doing sitting?" The monk tells him, "Have a seat, I'll tell you." A minute goes by, 2 minutes go by, 3 minutes go by, 4 minutes go by. The manager says, "Do you want to tell me or not?" The monk says, "Just a few more moments." He goes, "Look, either you tell me what you've been doing here for the last 30 days or I have to go." The monk looks at him and tells him, "I have been sitting here for 30 days. I have been sitting here for 30 days and you cannot even sit for 3, 4, 5 minutes." Think about the fickleness of our mind. Many people all over the world talk about meditation, they talk about yoga, they talk about so many things. But I think when you really have begun to understand what a way you want to come to is the stillness, is the steadiness. I meet many people because that's the field of work that I am involved in. People who have studied scriptures, who can quote scriptures, who can explain great principles from the scriptures. But you ask them to just have a seat. Ask them to just be quiet, be peaceful. Especially in our times today. Just like I said, making a car stop without you thinking. I've been amazed at the last year or two that they have put in screen time to tell the human being that he needs to get off his gadget. Think of how dumb we have become. Not smart. How dumb we have become that our gadget, which is inert, has to tell the conscious human being, get off. This is my question to everyone. We are living in a society that is supposedly technologically advanced, or science has advanced. But have we as human beings advanced? It's a question to ponder. Have we become wiser? I don't say smarter. Have we become wiser? Soon we may not have air to breathe. Soon we may not have water to drink because of our own greed, because of our own desires, because of our own wants. We have young Casey here who did his bachelor's in environment, and I think same with Garima, who did a bachelor's in environment. And they look at adults and wonder why we don't get it. Why are we dependent? As Dana said, when we sit under the tree of the grace of the Guru, there are questions each and every one of us must ask. Wise questions, intelligent questions. Swami Shivananda says, little acts of virtues, little acts of purity. Little acts of virtues, little acts of purity. He's not telling us to do a lot. He says, do little acts. Because the removal of impurities, of vrittis, of these fickle tendencies of the mind is the most important sadhana. The wandering mind must be controlled, must be taught to come to one place, must be taught to come to rest, and then become progressive from within. We read a lot. We hear a lot. But then Baba Muktananda talked about imbibing. How much of it have I imbibed? Every Sunday, no matter where I am, I give a talk from 30 to 45 to an hour. So, and I try and share how my expression of what I have read over the years, especially over the week. And then I have wise people from the audience who come and try to explain to me their attitude. And I just smile, because I think I have just, for 60 minutes, expressed a maybe revolutionary thought or an idea that is challenging for myself and for those who listen. And I don't want, I tell my Swami friends, to just become a CD or an MP3 player or a USB that just takes from this book and repeats it out. You can do that also. Any child, Constance is just 8 years old, 7 years old. I can give her a book and she can read, and we'll go, wow, she can read that. Yes, she can read that. But how much of it can she actually understand and imbibe? Which is what many of us all over the world, no matter what tradition we belong to, is we read a book and we parrot the book and we say, this is what the book says, well done. But how much of it have you actually understood? Baba Muktananda left his physical form 40 years ago. 40 years later, in the year 2022, where am I? Am I still stuck in 1982, 1981, 1980? Then I feel sorry for him, not for you. Because he put forth a lot of effort from 1968 to 1982 to travel the world, as Dana said, 3 times. To try and share his understanding of God dwells within you as you. That was his expression of the teaching, Tattvamasi, Tvam Tadasi, Ayam Atma Brahma. These are the Mahavakyas from the Upanishads, from the Vedas, which he expressed in his own way, in his own thought form. And he didn't expect that we would go out and say, Swami Muktananda says, or Swami Muktananda said. He wants that you live that teaching of God dwells within you as you, and find your own expression. Come to what Vedanta calls sama, dhamma, calmness and tranquility of mind, restraining the senses. Being able to withhold yourself, that your breath is not wasted. And how will you get there? Is by constant and deep meditation. I shared with Michael that as I travel the world, I tell people, what is important is that you find time to sit every day. You find time to sit every day in your most comfortable seat. And just sit. And bring about that stillness, that calmness in you. It may be 5 minutes, it may be a maximum of an hour. It may be 5 minutes, 10 times a day, which will add up to 50. Because what happens is we become robots and we do not want to do that. And I feel that oftentimes seekers do that. Because they have not imbibed and internalized for themselves what is it that the Guru has said. Swami Shivananda says, do it systematically and regularly every day. Whatever it is that you have created as your sadhana, as your practice, each and every single day find time to do it. Because this is the real wealth and the only thing of everlasting value. Butter is in milk, but it must be churned. To get butter, you must churn the milk. So within each and every one of us, there is value. Each and every one of us. But we don't look at the value not only within us, but in others as well. And so the issues we find in society today comes due to this. I go through phases in life. I read the news regularly and then I don't read the news. Because I think we as humans are supposed to progress, but then when I read what modern society does to the world, I realize, no, we are regressing, we are not progressing. Things are supposed to be better, but I think sometimes they are not. Imagine being locked up in the same space for X amount of time. The freedom of movement. Swami Shivananda says, selfishness retards spiritual progress. If anyone can destroy his selfishness, half of his spiritual sadhana is over. And I think for our time and society today, this is probably an important teaching. Why we find ourselves in the place that we find ourselves in is because each and every human being all around the world, for whatever the reason, has become selfish. So he says, just destroy the selfishness. But as soon as you tell somebody that, they say, but he, but she, but they, but he, but she, but they. And he's saying, but what about you? Wait, but. Because that's the outlook we have learned, that's the outlook we've been taught. Not to look within, not to see where I am at, but to see where everyone else is at, and thus then decide about myself. So, a sage who creates sadhana and then, as Swami Shivananda said, consistently practices it in a systematic and regular way every single day. Observe the vow of silence, develop right thinking, right feeling, right acting, right speaking. Eradicate vicious qualities such as anger, lust, greed, egoism, hatred. He who regulates his life on the above lines is sure to attain success in this very birth, in this very second. It's a lot. Eradicate vicious qualities. Because anyone sitting here would say, I'm not vicious, I'm so sweet. Agree to disagree. Anger, lust, greed, egoism, hatred. At different times in life, these things pop up within each and every one of us. So he says, begin to regulate life. So all of this is what happens over time by being regular in your own practice. And again, timing is important, attitude matters. It's just the first day. Shouldn't overdo it. I want you to come next Sunday again. And during the week if possible. And as Dana said, just to come. People often ask me, is there Shaktipat? I said, that's Baba Muktananda. Is there peacock feathers? I said, that's Baba Muktananda. So what do you do? Good question. I say, I do nothing. I simply sit under that tree and the crab apples, fall and I distribute them. You can do that. You can sit under the tree. The tree is already producing, or it produces. We get caught in the fact that I must produce, and I must produce. Why must you produce? The Srimad Bhagavad Gita says, Sarvarambha Parityagi. Come to the ending of the realization that I don't have to start or create anything. It already exists and I just have to continue in that. What Dana shared, many people observe that and tell me, every time I leave India, every time I go back to India, I always make sure to spend a day or spend a night or spend a few hours in Ganeshpuri. I think that's where the hub or the place where it began for us. And we were there this time, and about 9 p.m. at night we were done, and I thought I could have gone to Mumbai and been in Mumbai by 11 p.m. Slept in my own room, woken up the next day and I'd be in Mumbai. And these thoughts only came in for a few moments. We'd come there a little after 4 p.m. and we had a lot to do, and so we did everything. But by the time we finished it was 9 p.m. And I thought like a city person that, 2 hours of drive back. And then I told myself, but to be in this vibration, to be in this consciousness, to be in this space as I sleep is just as important. And I fell asleep thinking those thoughts and woke up at 4 because Bhaskar had said we'll meet at 5, so I was to be ready by then because we want to go to the temple, go to the Arati and so on and so forth. So when I woke up, those thoughts again that I would not have been able to go to the temple this morning had I left last night. And this is what each and every one of us needs to do to settle down, to relax, to just be at peace. Trying, at least at Shanti Mandir Magod, people come there to attend a puja, to attend a abhishek. And normally they like to come the last minute possible, attend and do what needs to be done and depart. So I'm trying to tell them that come 24 hours before. Get into that space. Do what needs to be done. Stay for a few more hours. Digest. Similar to what a hospital does. It admits you, takes your vitals and checks, are you eligible for the surgery tomorrow? If not, then they keep you. Right? There you don't argue. if the doctor tells you stay one more day and we'll do the surgery tomorrow because your pressure is up or your sugar is or whatever it is. But when we come to the ashram, we want to get out of it so quickly. But we want that the cure from the ashram is instant. And if the ashram says, no, stay one more day, your question is why? Because the ashram doesn't have any machine to tell you that this is the problem with your vitals, other than the fact that the person you're dealing with can see the vitals, but you cannot. So I always tell people, come, spend the night, allow yourself to just be at peace, settle down, be calm, enjoy. So, thank Devani for all of this online that we have here in Shanti Mandir Walden, and that through Dipanshu and his student Abhishek we've been able to imitate it at Shanti Mandir Mogol. And of course Bhaskar has been doing it also, I think just as long as Walden has been doing it in Shanti Mandir Ganeshpuri. And Navinji every so often wakes up and realizes, oh, we can be live. And so he does it too. And it's wonderful, wonderful to see all of the various places and all of the various people, whether it's here or there, doing what needs to be done, supporting this process, continuing this process, making sure that as time goes on, that which our gurus and sages have taught us continues. So we'll end with Danya Danya, Jyoti Sajyoti.
कोटि ब्रह्म हत्यार्ति कर्ता दंडवतार कोटि ब्रह्म हत्यार्ति कर्ता दंडवतार कोटि ब्रह्म हत्यार्ति कर्ता दंडवतार लोटांगण घालिता मोक्षलोले धाया धन्य धन्य प्रदक्षिणा सद्गुरुरायाची परसुरवर विमान याची गुरुभजनाचा महिमा नकले आगमानिगमासी गुरुभजनाचा गुरुभजनाचा महिमा नकले आगमानिगमासी गुरुभजनाचा अनुभवते जानती जे गुरुभजने धन्य धन्य प्रदक्षिणा सद्गुरुरायाची परसुरवर विमान याची प्रदक्षिणा करुणी देह भावे वाहिला प्रदक्षिणा करुणी देह भावे वाहिला प्रदक्षिणा श्रीरंगा मन विठ्ठल पुढे उभा राहिला धन्य धन्य प्रदक्षिणा सद्गुरुरायाची परसुरवर विमान याची धन्य धन्य प्रदक्षिणा सद्गुरुरायाची परसुरवर विमान याची धन्य धन्य प्रदक्षिणा सद्गुरुरायाची परसुरवर विमान याची ज्योतस्य ज्योता जगावो सद्गुरु ज्योतस्य ज्योता जगावो मेरा अंतर मेरा मिटावो सद्गुरु ज्योतस्य ज्योता जगावो हे योगेश्वर हे ज्ञानेश्वर हे योगेश्वर हे ज्ञानेश्वर हे सर्वेश्वर हे परमेश्वर हे सर्वेश्वर हे परमेश्वर निजा कृपा भरतावो सद्गुरु ज्योतस्य ज्योता जगावो निरंतर मेरा मिटावो सद्गुरु ज्योतस्य ज्योता जगावो हम बालक तेरे द्वार पे आए हम बालक तेरे द्वार पे आए मंगल दर्शन सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणां त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव दूर करो दुःख कर सबं दया करो भगवान मन मंदिर में उज्ज्वल तेरा निर्मल ज्ञान जिस घर में हो आरती चरण कमल चितलार तान हरि वासा करे ज्योतानंद जगाए जहाँ भक्त कीर्तन करे बहे प्रेम दरिया तान हरि श्रवण करे सत्य लोक से आए सब कुछ दिया आपने बेनता करो ज्ञानार नमस्कार की बेनता करूं जोड़ में दोनों हाथ नमस्कार की बेनता करूं जोड़ में दोनों हाथ ओम पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज Sadhgurunad Maharaj Ki Jai. So thank you all for joining us here on this most auspicious day for all of us here at Shanti Mandir Walden for Gurudev's arrival program. We welcome you all with great respect and love, and we're so happy to have Gurudev here for 4 months. So please make sure, mark your calendars, try to come to as many of the satsangs as you can. We'll continue to gather here at Namaste on Saturday evenings for Kirtan weekly. So every Saturday, 6 to 7 p.m., followed by dinner, and everyone's invited to join us for dinner. On Sunday mornings, we'll continue with our Sunday morning satsang, 9 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock noon. And again, everyone's invited, and then stay on for lunch prasad. So try to attend as many of those as you can. Also, we will continue to live stream everything. And we also have 4 intensives while Gurudev is in residence. So we have 3 local intensives. One will be in August, one will be in September, one will be in November. October, or October 2nd, in honor of Baba Muktananda's Mahasamadhi celebration, we will have that globally and virtually available to everyone. That one will be recorded. So everybody, please make sure to mark your calendars. You'll get an email this evening that has all of those dates. And let me just tell you the topics, since Gurudev made a reference to the topics. So the first one for August 28th is Fix Your Mind. Fix Your Mind. The second one in September is Simply Settle Down Values. So again, the email will be in your inboxes this evening. So next weekend here on Saturday, we do have the first intensive, Fix Your Mind. So for registration, you can do that online, or you can see Nicheshwari in the gift shop, or any one of the women in the gift shop or reception. Also, I want to draw everybody's attention to Gurudev's new book. It's Conversations with Gurudev, Volume 2. So that's now available in the gift shop and also online via Amazon. I encourage everybody to pick that up. And if you don't have the first one, Volume 1, definitely both of them are not to be missed. They have all of Gurudev's wisdom, gems, experiences, and question and answers. It's absolutely filled with everything that we can use for our sadhana and for our continued journey forward. Also, if you want to have him sign it, you can bring it up on the darshan line, and he has a pen there from his notes, and I'm sure he'd be happy to sign your books. The other thing is, so I also would like to bring to everybody's attention that we do have a wedding party coming here for Gurudev's blessings for the newlywed couple. It is from the family of Jayant Prakash Desai, old Baba devotees from the, 60s? 60s, from the 60s. So there'll be a wedding party that will come in here somewhere between the 12:30, and they'll all be taking prasad here and receiving Gurudev's blessings. So just be aware of that. The other thing that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention is, as everyone knows, we are still in the midst of the COVID, the coronavirus, the Delta variant, all of the things that are still among us. So we really do appreciate everyone's cooperation, your patience, and your understanding as we continue to move through this. As an initiative to keep Gurudev safe and to keep every single person who is visiting the ashram safe, we are requesting facial coverings for right now. We'll see what transpires in the months to come. Larry, our counsel, our advisor, is here. And if anybody has any questions with why we are doing anything, Larry, can you raise your hand? Please see him. He will tell you the way, the where, the why, the when, all of it. Anything that you wish to know, please direct it to him. But it's all for everyone's safety. And as things change, we are willing to adjust and change, but we need to first get to certain squares before we can do that. We are fortunate that we have a great Sangha, a great community, a worldwide community. So we have people here from different countries, different states, different cities. So we need to take care. We've got a lot of people from a lot of different places. So, and it's a wonderful thing, but let's do our part and our own due diligence. So now in wrapping up, I just wanted to, I always love to do this, just say a few things, reminders so we can all go home with those thoughts. So from Gurudev's talks, from his talk this morning, a breath unused is wasted. How do you get there? Constant and deep meditation. Just as the breath is natural, so is consciousness. It is natural. Timing is important. Attitude matters. The story of the standing and looking at the ceiling, 8 minutes, and the fickleness of our minds with regards to the monk sitting for 30 days, and yet we cannot sit for 5 or 10 minutes. 40 years ago, Baba Muktananda left his body. So the contemplation is, Where am I? Find your own expression. So thank you all for joining us here on this beautiful sacred Sunday, and we look forward to seeing everyone in the days and the weeks to come. And also a reminder that we do have our regular daily schedule of the sadhana that we do here morning, afternoon, and evening. Everyone's welcome to come for that in the temple. And again, in the temple, the masks will be mandatory. So thank you all. Sadhgurunad Maharaj Ki Jai.